Okay, and welcome to Derbyshire Arts Word, and we are on rehearsals for Oliver Twist, the forthcoming production of Oliver Twist by Larry Waller, appearing at the Strutt Centre in Belper, the 11th to the 15th of December. And here with me, we have the cast and the crew of this promised to be epic production. We have a bevy, a trio of Olivers. We have an amazing props and costume person, and we have the co-writer, Terry Stevenson. So Terry, Caroline, and the three Olivers. So first of all, we have Eva. Eva, tell us a bit about how you feel about the rehearsals, how it's going, and what you're looking forward to.
Well, I'm really looking forward to when we first go on stage and everyone comes in and they're like, oh, this is different, because we'll be sitting on the stage already and talking to them and introducing the show. So they're going to be like, wow, they've really thought about this.
Is this the first big production you've done?
Yeah.
And how does that feel?
Feels quite nerve-wracking.
But how's it all going? Is it going to
It's
plan?
going really well.
Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoy it.
Have you worked with Larry before?
Ooh, a bit in lessons at Captive Audience.
I've heard he's
not
quite
really
tough.
In the show.
I've heard he's quite tough. Is that true?
Sort of.
I
not
know,
all the time.
I know from experience he is. Freddie, how about yourself? You've done a little bit of stuff in the past, is that right?
Yeah, I did 2017's Hamp, which went well.
Okay. You excited about this one?
Yeah, really excited.
What is it about Oliver Twist that excites you in particular?
Just that I am Oliver, and I've just wanted to be him since I did the audition.
And how did you get the part? What did you have to do?
We just did a bit of a play and see what went well and all that stuff. So
And you just sparkled?
yeah.
Of course you did. And Nico, the youngest
Yeah.
of the Olivers.
Yeah.
So how does it feel? We have two female Oliver Twists. Now, some people found that a bit controversial. How do you feel about that?
I think it's okay. I think they should be allowed to do it.
Yeah?
Because it doesn't matter, if they're a boy or a girl, they're still into acting and they're still good at it, so why can't they do it?
Absolutely. Brilliant answer. And what about your family? How have they reacted?
They were just a bit shocked, because the way I found out was I was walking down the street, and then Larry stopped in his car, and he said, oh, Mum and Dad, is it all right if your daughter could be Oliver? And we were just like, this is the best Tuesday morning of our lives.
That's amazing. But I think he does that in his normal life as well. Stops people randomly in the streets, asking them questions. Eva, now, what about you and school? How are you managing schoolwork, rehearsals, and a normal life?
I'm not really doing that much homework
Oh.
at all. I'm doing it at break time. Don't let your teachers hear that.
Well, it's a bit late for that, but I'm sure your teacher will forgive you when you become a BAFTA award-winning actress.
Yeah, my French teacher's coming.
Is she?
Yes.
Sacre bleu.
Weird.
So, Caroline
Yes.
Hawley,
Yeah.
an esteemed, renowned local
No, I've only done Nell Gwyn,
prop mistress, I think we can call you. Tell us about what's involved in creating this production from your point of view.
Well, Larry's always wanted it to be modern day and have a modern feel. So because obviously the children are involved, they've got to identify with it. So we've not gone down the traditional route, and there are lots of things that I think it's fair to say, guys, that you recognise, isn't it? The props that people are using. Fagan's got lots of things that you recognise, but also the way you're dressed is very casual, but actually very modern, and it's very pertinent to the problems that are still prevalent today that Oliver Twist deals with.
Terry, on that point, you've tinkered with the script. Terry Stevenson.
First draft in the long summer that we had, it seems years ago now.
It's still as dark as Dickens would have liked it to be, though.
I think it is dark, that there are elements in this which I haven't seen in other productions or other versions of it. But I think we're trying to manage the darkness with the humour that is implicit in lots of Dickens anyway. So I think we're attempting to get that balance, because reading Dickens and looking at Dickens' characters, they're incredibly funny if you want to look at it that way. because in some ways Dickens was like the spitting image of Victorian writers and ridiculing individuals and ridiculing the system as well.
So how did you tweak the script to get to make it different? Because this is set in modern day, isn't it? It's modern clothing.
Yeah.
It's society today. So how have you adapted a script that was designed for a Victorian audience, but in a modern setting?
It's partly the language. Some of the languages had to be adapted to make it more modern day. But basically, I think the issues which Dickens raises, I think they're pertinent today. In fact, more pertinent today. In Dickens's time, people wouldn't have known outside that community, but because of media today, it's more prevalent and therefore more noticeable.
And this is breaking all the conventions, really, isn't it? We have a French Nancy, Les Français Nancy. We have an Asian Bill Sykes. So there's a lot new for people to see here. Tell us a bit about the rest of the cast, if you could, Terry. We've got an amazing Fagin, haven't we? Tell us about Fagin.
Davies as Fagin, who flips from being sinister to jolly. But my point is, with regard to Fagin, was Fagin there for the boys' benefit, or was Fagin there for Fagin's benefit? The lovely line in the play when Nancy says, good for Oliver, but is that good news for Oliver or good news for Fagin that Oliver's there?
So if you want to go and see Oliver Twist, you can still buy tickets. It's appearing at the Strutt Centre Tuesday the 11th of December through to Saturday the 15th of December, including a matinee at 2:30. You can get your tickets at Captive Audience online, or you can go to Time and Again on King Street. Just get your tickets, because this is turning out to be an epic production. I've seen it in rehearsals. We've seen an amazing cast. We've got some wonderful support. It really will be a good night out. So please, if you can, come and see Oliver Twist. Thanks, everyone.
No, thank you.
Derbyshire Artsword.
Derwent Valley on demand.